Cloud with you on IELTS lesson. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a few methods of answering questions that are related to matching the most appropriate headings with the paragraphs. So stick with me and I'll show you a few insiders in addressing this task on the academic skills reading. So let's go over to my computer and I'll walk you through some of the processes. Let's go. Now that you're on my computer, guys, whenever you get your task in the academic writing or the general, it's very important that you read the question. So the question says here, write the appropriate number from 1 to 7 or 6 beside in the box for each paragraphs A, B, and C on the answer sheet. Read the question once or twice in order to have the complete understanding. After you're clear on the question, it's important that you just skim around to see what's happening in that specific area on the sheet. Very important. And based on my experience in doing the IELTS in more than one scenarios, I've realized that this exam is very difficult, even for a native speaker. So whenever you get a task, it's important that you read properly and you answer what is required. So you have this really intense text here that you have to read and put the most appropriate heading for each article. So we can say these are 3 different articles related to one big topic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you, say, 6 minutes to do this task of reading the paragraphs, then choosing the most appropriate heading for each section. And we have section A, B, and C. And if you scroll down and look at the bottom, there are 6 options to choose from. Some of these options will not be relevant, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to give you 6 minutes starting now. Go. Four minutes are left. Three minutes are left. Two minutes are left. One minute. Yes, now let's start. Now for number 1, or for the A section, the answer for this section is 1, which is this one. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I chose this for the answer. Now here it says the expansion of international tourism in recent years. Now, when you read any of these options, guys, it's important that you look for keywords in the sentences. For example, this is a keyword of expansion. Another keyword that we have is international. Another is tourism. These are all keywords that are in the first option. Now, when you go through each, you try to underline or to keep in the back of your brain the keywords per sentence. After that, you have to go to the paragraph or that section like here, and you look for words that are the same or similar in meaning. And based on my research and the information that an IELTS examiner has given to me, is that when you go to the paragraph, you will not find the exact word. You will find a word that's similar to it or around about in the meaning. So you're going to go over and you're going to read through. So here it says, okay, expansion. So the expansion meaning to get larger, to have a wider aspect to it. You're going to go through. Now, when you go to any paragraph, it's important that you focus on the topic sentence. Majority of the time, the topic sentence is either in the first line or the first sentence and the second sentence. If it's not, it's in the third. So IELTS can be a bit tricky. And even for a native speaker, we sometimes have difficulty in answering this question with the pressure of the examination, the pressure of the invigilator walking around and other things and thinking through, looking for similar words, looking for the opposite, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes they will give you the opposite, which will just confuse you when you're choosing the answer that you think is the best. So here we have, okay, expansion of international tourism. So we're going to go back. Now the market for tourism. So we have another, the keyword here, tourism, which is also here. Then in excluded parts is thriving. Now thriving means to get larger, to boom, to increase as never before. So this is an indication of recent years. So the indication is here. And we can find this in the first line, which is generally the topic sentence. When we go further down, it says countries all around the world. Countries all around the world. That is an implication to the word international. So you see, guys, this is a keyword that we have in the heading list and a word which is similar or a phrase which is similar in the sentence. So these are all indications that this answer is correct for this paragraph. Okay. Now, when we go to section B, which is here, we then have to do the same thing. Keep in mind that we have highlighted the keywords per heading, and we're looking for keywords which are similar or the same, and sometimes the opposite in a meaningful way. So here it says, for this section, my answer was, say, number 5, or the V sign, which is here. Now, this heading says, some of wilderness tourism. So here we have some, which shows that it's just a portion, not everyone. Then we have disruptive. That means there's a disturbance. It's not calm. Wilderness tourism. So all these are keywords that you need to keep in mind when you're searching for the most appropriate paragraph or article. Now we're going to go over and we're going to do a quick read. When a locality is established as a chief tourist destination, okay, tourist destination, okay, we're getting hints of the keywords that are here. Then it says the effects, good, effects, and we saw the effects here. So here the IELTS organization was nice to give us a word which was the same in pronunciation and the same in meaning, because sometimes they will give you something similar or roundabout. So this was nice of them to do this for us. So here it says the effects on the home groom communities are insightful. Okay. When hill farmers, for instance, can earn supplementary bread in a few weeks working as a porter for foreign companies than they can in 6 months. Good. So we have the topic sentence here, guys. And if it's not clear or you feel that there's no relevance, you need to read on to the second or the third. And if you still don't get the hint of it, go to the last sentence in the paragraph. Now, in IELTS, you have to be very thoughtful of your time, and you cannot spend a lot of time on a section that you're not understanding, because what happens when you spend a lot of time, say, on one particular question, you'll be losing your time in addressing the others. So they only mark you for things that you answer. So you'll get points according to what you answer. So try your best to do what you have to do in terms of selecting the best answer, and do not spend a lot of time on one thing that's not clear to you. So here, as we've said, some of the disruptive effects of wildest tourism. So let's move on. When hill farmers, for instance, earn supplementary bread in a few years working as a porter for foreign companies, then they can sit in 6 months working in their fields. It is not shocking that some of them give up their farm work, which is thus left to other members of the family. Okay, disruptive. Good. Now here, guys, when they say disruptive, we're going back to here. So we're seeing here there's not a balance through here, guys, because what happens, you have people who are the original workers or not that task. So you can see that there's some form of imbalance in the process of agriculture. So we can see that in the story. Now, what we then need to do, we need to move on if we're still not sure if our answer is 100%. And we have to look for other keywords which are related or a roundabout to the meaning of the one in the heading. So let's continue reading. So, in a few hill regions, this has resulted to a grave weakening in a farm productivity and a modification in the local intake. Okay. So that's enough. We've got the understanding. We have realized that there's some form of imbalance between the owners of the farmland, where we have other members of the family helping to accomplish various tasks in terms of reaping. So we need to then go further in the paragraph or that article. And we're going to go to the last section here where it says, conversely, as some occupants become involved in the tourism, they no longer have the time to collect wild food. This has led to increasing dependence on both food and stores. Tourism is not always the culprit behind such changes. Okay, so guys, look at this. Culprit in such changing. Culprit comes with a negative connotation. That means someone who is affecting the situation negatively. And they say a change. So guys, changes, effects. Changes, effects. Very important. Tourism is not always the culprit behind such changes. All kinds of wage labor or government handouts tend to undermine traditional survival system. So I hope you can see the reason why we have chosen this. Now, you can also do an elimination, guys. Say that we have done this, so we know that this is the answer for number or letter A. And we are doubtful of the rest. We can do an elimination, but elimination will take some time. So you have to just stick to the keywords and focusing on the first two lines or the first two sentences within the paragraph, or the first two sentences and the last paragraph. Very important. And you have to be quick when you're reading. Look for things that are related to the keywords, understanding whether it be opposite, because I have done that before and I've seen the level of difficulty that the IELTS organization has made this test to be. So keep in mind that. Now let's go to letter C, or the C section. Now here it says, I hope you have written the answer. My answer is, this is the one. So the answer for this would be here, and I'll tell you why. Now let's go and look for keywords in this heading. Now it says here, how local communities can balance their own needs with the demands of wilderness tourism. So we're looking at keywords such as local communities, balance their own needs, and what? Demands, guys. Demands and tourism. So these are the keywords that we should keep in mind. Then what we need to do, we need to go over to the text. So as usual, guys, go to the first two lines or the first two sentences and understand them in depth, because normally these two holds the topic sentence or the topic idea that tells what will be coming in the paragraph holistically. So we're going to go over, then we're going to quick read through the two sentences. Now here it says, stories about the complications of tourism have become multitude in the last few years. Nonetheless, it does not have to be problematic as some say. Okay. So we have, do we have any keywords here? Okay, we have tourism. That's good. We have that here. Can we find anything related to local communities? Local communities. Let me just scroll through. There's nothing related to local communities here. So let's go down. Even though tourism unavoidably disturbs the region, which is an implication of the local community. Okay. Even though tourism unavoidably disturbs the region in which it takes place, the cost to these delicate locations and their local cultures. Guys, these are all keywords or words which were similar in meaning to the local communities. Very important, guys. Now let's move on. So we have established the keywords that are in this heading and words which were similar or the same in the two first sentences, which makes our path correct. And we're going to continue. So they say, and their local cultures can be lessened as best as possible. Okay. So we need to get more clarity. And if we do not haven't got the necessary clarity, guys, continue reading and mostly go to the last section of the article. So we're going to continue reading, guys. So indeed, it can be even an option of strengthening local cultures as has happened with the in Haiti, blah blah blah, the local concern about the raising number of second home, Okay, now let's go to the last two lines or sentences in this article. Now it says here, but some African populations are now operating tour businesses by themselves, thus safeguarding benefits occur locally. Okay, good. Locally again, which is here. And for instance, a native corporation in Nigeria employed local people, is running an air tour from blah blah blah. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but where tourists eat African food, walk on the ton trade, and watch the local musicians and dancers. So guys, look at that. So here we have a combination. We have tourism with the local people, and people are coming and having the food, and there are locals having the food. So there's a balance within this paragraph, because they have mentioned it here, that the complications, and then it went on to say that local occupants of the land are eating the food and coming over and having tourists. So it's something internal. So it's not just having an external enterprise coming in and reaping the cash from within and leaving for their own selfish revenue. So here it's a local having their demands, and local people are coming over and having the food. So the money is spent locally. I hope you've gotten a lot of value from this brief video. I hope you've liked it. I would love to know, how much did you get in this section? Please put your comments and your results below in the comment section. In addition, it's very important that you have the necessary practice for this section of the IELTS exam. It can be really tedious even for native speakers. I have done the IELTS numerous occasions and I know how they will present the questions and the answers. So, thank you for watching. If you have any questions for me, please give me a feedback below this video and go to the description below and take actions within the necessary resource. You have to have practicing in this section of the exam, because when you're in the quiz or the exam, as you want to call it, it's tedious that you have a balance between your thoughts and between answers when you're giving your response for each section. So kindly go down and have a look at the resource section, which is below this video, and hope to see you in the next video which I produce on IELTS lesson. Thank you for giving me your undivided attention and hope to see you in my next videos. Thank you and bye.